Hello everyone. Today what we are going to discuss, the topic electricity and chemistry, or we can say that electrochemistry, right? So we will try to understand the multiple choice questions of electrochemistry in this topic. We will cover topical past paper. We will cover important questions which are usually asked in the exam. And I will try to explain the correct answer, not only answer, the reason behind the correct answer. I will try to explain the reason behind the correct answer. This will help you to learn this topic maximum. This will help you to learn this topic easily. Okay, now let's start. The first question, the diagram shows an electrical cable. Which statement about the substance used is correct? One thing I want to explain here, if you want to cover this topic, if you want to understand these MCQs, then before starting this question, before starting to solve this question, you must familiar with the chapter of electricity. Or we can say that electrochemistry. If you are not familiar with this chapter electrochemistry, and if you have not studied yet electrochemistry or electricity, then this will become difficult for you to understand the questions which I am trying to explain. So before solving this paper, you must get familiar. You must make sure that you must know about electricity and electrochemistry. So the first question is, the diagram shows an electrical cable. This is plastic coating. This is metal core. Which statement about this substance used is correct? There are 4 options, and we have to choose the correct option. So the number A, option A is the coating is plastic because it's conduct electricity well. We know that plastic coating cannot conduct electricity. Option B, the core is copper because it conducts electricity well. Yes, the core is copper because it conducts electricity well. This is the correct option. The core is copper because it is cheap and strong. The core is iron because it is cheap and strong. These are not the corrections. So moving towards the next question. Few questions are very tricky. The important thing is not that we must know their answer. The important thing is we must get familiar the reason behind the correct answer. Going to discuss these questions. When substance X is electrolyzed, here in this picture, in this diagram, you see here is a substance X. Substance X is electrolyzed. The amount of gases P and Q formed as shown. You see, these are 2 electrodes. One electrode is connected to the positive terminal of battery. The other electrode is connected to the negative terminal of battery. The electrode which is connected to the positive terminal of battery, we call usually that electrode as anode. And the other electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of battery, we call that electrode as cathode. Right? So we have to figure out what is substance X, and we have to choose from the following options. Let me show you these following options. The option A is a concentrated aqueous sodium chloride. The option B is concentrated hydrochloric acid. The option C is dilute sulfuric acid. The option D is molten lead to bromide. The correct one is option C, option Charlie, dilute sulfuric acid. The reason is, let me try to explain this. When we talk about, why not option A, concentrated aqueous sodium chloride? No, concentrated aqueous sodium chloride is not possible, because you see, this substance X contains a lot of dilute solution. Whatever the substance X, but it seems that substance X contains a lot of dilute solution. And when we talk about dilute sulfuric acid, the option C is dilute sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Dilute sulfuric acid means it has a lot of water. So the ions we get from water is hydrogen ion, the other is hydroxide ions, And other thing is sulfuric acid. The ions which we get from sulfuric acid is two types as well. Number one is hydrogen ion. The other is, you can say that simply sulfate ion. Hydrogen ion and sulfate ion. Actually, this is not a little bit more correct. The correct is, first of all, sulfuric acid ionize to produce hydrogen ion and bisulfate ion. We call this bisulfate ion or hydrogen sulfate ion. Next, this hydrogen sulfate ion again ionize and it produce hydrogen ion and sulfate ion. But just to make it simple, just assume that by sulfuric acid we get hydrogen ions and sulfate ions, and by water we get hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. So in solution there are hydroxide ion, there are sulfate ions, and there are hydrogen ions. Sulfate ions, hydroxide ions, and hydrogen ions. So it is very clear that hydrogen ions will move towards negative electrode and its cathode. Or sulfate ion and hydroxide ion both will try to reach towards a positive electrode. Hydroxide ion will also try to reach towards positive electrode. Similarly, sulfate ion, because sulfate ion also carry negative charges, so sulfate ion also try to reach towards positive electrode. But the point is, which ion should reach earlier? There is a list, but let me tell you that hydroxide ion is reaching at positive electrode earlier. Then what happened with this hydroxide ion? When this hydroxide ion reached earlier at positive electrode, the hydroxide ion oxidized, because oxidation takes place at anode, and hydroxide ion convert into water, producing oxygen gas and giving off oxygen gas, and loss of 4 electron takes place. To make this equation balanced, put 4 here. This is a balanced equation, and so you see oxygen gas will be given off. Oxygen gas will be given off at anode. What about cathode? When hydrogen ion reach at cathode, you see what happened. You see addition of electron will take place in hydrogen gas converted into, and hydrogen ion converted into hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas will be produced at cathode. This is the correct gases. This is the gases which you figure out. Let me check from this textbook as well. I have a textbook with me for O-level chemistry and for IGCS chemistry. Yes, this is the correction. So hydrogen gas is given off at cathode and oxygen gas is given off at anode. So dilute sulfuric acid will be produced. The substances. So going towards next questions. What are the product? The next question is, what are the product and electrode when dilute sulfuric acid is electrolyzed using inert electrode? Previously, we discussed that what should be the product. What do you think that oxygen gas will be given off at anode and hydrogen gas will be given off at cathode? So previously, we discussed that questions in detail. So the option beta is the correct answer. Going towards question 4, electricity is passed separately through concentrated hydrochloric acid. The point is concentrated hydrochloric acid, concentrated aqueous sodium chloride, and dilute sulfuric acid. There are 3 things. One is concentrated hydrochloric acid, the other is concentrated aqueous sodium chloride, the third one is dilute sulfuric acid. So we have to figure out the nature of the product which are produced at cathode and anode, And when we talk about dilute sulfuric acid, we are pretty much familiar that in case of dilute sulfuric acid, oxygen gas, let me show here. In case of dilute sulfuric acid, oxygen gas will be given off at anode. Hydrogen gas will be given off at cathode. Okay, but and what about concentrated hydrochloric acid? Concentrated hydrochloric acid, you see that in case of concentrated hydrochloric acid, first of all we get hydrogen ion and chloride ion. This is concentrated hydrochloric acid. So hydrogen will reach at cathode because cathode carry negative charge, and hydrogen gas will be converted into, by adding the electron, hydrogen gas will be converted, hydrogen ion will be converted into hydrogen gas. And similarly, by getting by losing the electron, first of all chloride ion reach towards at anode, then by losing electron, chloride ion is converted into chlorine gas by losing electron. Okay, then the other is concentrated aqueous sodium chloride. Concentrated aqueous sodium chloride. Aqueous sodium chloride means sodium chloride plus water. So let me erase. Should I erase? Okay, let me write. From NaCl we get sodium ion and chloride ions. From water we get hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions. So now there is a race that which ion should reach electrode earlier, because when we talk about the anode carry positive charge. So hydroxide ion also wish to reach anode. Chloride ions also wants to reach anode at anode. So should chloride ion reach at anode earlier? Should hydroxide ion reach at anode earlier? The point is, and this is concentrated aqueous sodium chloride. Remember, in case of concentrated aqueous sodium chloride ion, chloride ion reach earlier. Chloride ion reach earlier at anode, and when chloride ion reach earlier at anode, oxidation takes place and chloride ion is converted into chlorine gas plus will be the loss of 2 electrons. And what about cathode? Sodium ion also want to reach at cathode because cathode carry negative charge. Hydrogen ion also wants to reach cathode because cathode carry negative charge. The point is, which ions reach earlier? Remember that in case of sodium ion and hydrogen ion reach earlier at cathode, and by getting electron, hydrogen ion by getting electron converted into hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas will be given off at cathode. So in which rows the electrolysis product correctly named? Number 1, in case of concentrated hydrochloric acid. In case of concentrated hydrochloric acid, cathode product is hydrogen. Yes, cathode product is hydrogen, and anode product is chlorine. Yes, so this one is okay. So a concentrated aqueous sodium chloride, cathode product is sodium. No, cathode product is hydrogen. In case of a concentrated aqueous sodium chloride, cathode product is sodium. No, cathode product is hydrogen. So it means option 2 is not correct. Anode product is chlorine. Yes, anode product is chlorine. This is okay. In case of dilute sulfuric acid, hydrogen is at cathode and oxygen is at anode. So option C is the correct answer. In this way, we figure out these questions. These are pretty much tricky. Sometimes we needed someone who discuss these things with us so that we can learn these things in the maximum way. The next question is, which row describes the electrolysis of molten potassium chloride? Guys, you know the molten. In case of molten substance, it is very easy to figure out which substance will appear at cathode and which substance will appear at cathode. So molten potassium bromide give us potassium ion and bromide ion. Obviously, potassium ion reach towards cathode because cathode carry negative charge, and bromide ion reach towards anode because anode carry positive charge. What happens when bromide reach at anode? Bromide ion oxidation takes place, and bromide ion is converted into bromine atom, giving off one electron. So there are so many bromine atoms. In this way, it becomes also bromine gas. Later on, bromine atom converted into bromine gas. So product at anode will be bromine. Okay. What should be the product at cathode? Product at cathode should be potassium. So the correct answer is beta. Option B is correct answer. Going towards the next question. The next question in that case is a diagram showing the section of an overhead power cable. I think this is simple, pretty much simple to solve. The other question is question number 7. And the diagram shows the electrolysis of concentrated hydrochloric acid, concentrated hydrochloric acid, concentrated hydrochloric acid, concentrated aqueous sodium chloride using carbon electrode. You guys know that carbon electrodes are inert electrodes. And the nature of electrode also affect the product which are going to appear at anode and cathode. Carbon electrode is inert electrode. All right. So the one thing is concentrated hydrochloric acid, HCl. If this is concentrated, it means it contain very few amount of water. It has a lot of HCl content. So from HCl we get hydrogen ion, and from chloride ion, concentrated aqueous sodium chloride. It means sodium chloride and also aqueous also water is there. From sodium chloride we get sodium ions and chloride ions. From aqueous we get hydrogen ion and hydroxide ions. So the point is, here is concentrated hydrochloric acid, here is concentrated aqueous sodium chloride. In case of HCl, the answer is pretty much simple, that hydrogen ion will move towards negative electrode. So hydrogen gas will appear here, will be given off at here, and chlorine gas will be given off there. So we have to figure out at which electrode hydrogen is produced. So at electrode number 2, hydrogen is produced. Okay, at electrode 2, hydrogen is produced. So let's see this concentrated aqueous sodium chloride. Sodium ions also wish to reach at anode. Anode carry positive charge. So chloride ions also want to reach at anode. Hydroxide ions also want to reach at anode. Remember, if this is concentrated aqueous sodium chloride, then chloride ions is the luckiest ion which reach at anode earlier, and chloride ion oxidation takes place, and chloride ions converted into chlorine gas, giving off electrons. Now, what about cathode? Hydrogen ion also want to reach cathode. Sodium ion also want to reach at cathode, because cathode carry negative charge, sodium ion carry positive charge, hydrogen ion carry positive charge. But hydrogen ion is the luckiest one to reach at cathode earlier and getting electrons. Hydrogen ion is converted into hydrogen gas. So cathode means a negative charge. This is cathode. Electrode 4 is cathode. So we can say that at electrode 2, hydrogen gas will be given off. At electrode 4, hydrogen gas again will be given off. The answer should be D. Is it? Yes. Yes, guys. The answer is delta. So this is the way to figure out the correct answer. If you want to do a practice session, if you want to discuss these multiple choice questions with me, I am available. Okay. Question 8. What are the electrode products when molten silver iodide is electrolyzed between inert electrode? Molten silver iodide. One thing is, when the word is molten, remember it's pretty much simple to figure out which ion should appear at cathode and which ion should appear at anode. In case of silver iodide, silver ion carry positive charge, so silver ion will go towards anode. Oh no, silver ion goes towards cathode, because cathode carry negative charge. Iodine will appear at iodine will go at anode because anode carry positive charge. Iodine give off electron and make iodine gas. The thing is like that. So iodine will form at anode and silver ion will form at cathode. The option C. In question 8, option is C is the correct answer. So guys, multiple choice question 9. Copper and hydrogen can each be formed by electrolysis. At which electrode are these elements formed? Copper carry positive charge, so copper must go towards cathode. Hydrogen also carry positive charge, so hydrogen must go towards cathode. Option is D. Diagram. The next one is there are a lot of multiple choice questions. I will just camera. So the other is question number 10. What about question 10? The diagram shows equivalent to copper plate a pan. This is a pan, and you have to electroplate this pan. So this is the copper cathode. The pan should be made up of anode. Which action will plate the pan with copper? Which action will plate the pan with copper? Remember, the thing or object which we want to be electroplated, make that object always have anode. And the metal which want to electroplate over other metal, make that metal as cathode, making the pan the cathode and the copper at the anode. This is the correct solution. Going towards next question. The diagram shows the electroplating of the steel object. Student made the following statement: object turn reddish brown color. The copper sulfate solution changes to pale blue color. The copper electrodes become smaller. Which statements are correct? Yes, copper electrode becomes smaller. This one is also correct. The object turn a reddish brown color. The object turn a reddish brown color. Why? Yes, because the color of the copper is reddish brown. When copper layer will deposit over this object, the color of this object will become reddish brown color. This one is the correct. The copper electrode becomes smaller, this electrode will shrink. This one is correct. Copper sulfate solution is to pale blue color. This is not correct. Option C is the correct answer. So there are a lot of multiple choice questions. I'm going to make this video a smaller in size, a shorter video. In this next part, I will cover next MCQ. There are so many multiple choice questions, and so many papers are there. I need your feedback. I hope you guys will share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Okay, goodbye.